about your stance. I watch you. You have this two-point stance. I bet 90% of your career you're in a two-point stance, at least the tapes I've seen.
Yeah.
Right? Tell me what you're doing with your stance. I think every left tackle, the great ones, they have a trademark stance.
Yeah.
They really do. Some guys have a flatter back. Some guys have a more erect stance. Everybody has their own stance. Can you just stand up and show me your stance so I can hear you explain what you're doing with it? Talk to me about your two-point stance at left tackle.
The thing I learned when I first got in, you can't be comfortable. You can't just be comfortable in your stance and just sit down in it. You got to be triggered up. You got to be springed up. So your weights, this is Coach Turner, my first coach. He says your weights, you got to have, you're 310 pounds. You got to have about 290 pounds of your weight on the big toe of your front foot. So that you're just springed up. And, you got to sit in there. You got to feel like the first thing that's coming off, so you can't have your front foot rock at all. You're just losing time. So you got to be able to have all your weight right on that big toe. So the first thing that comes off is your left foot. And so you're able to kick out of it. And then you're trying to drag your post foot straight back. You don't want to yank it with you because that's when you get beat inside.
Can you teach me your left-handed stance or three-point stance? Just teach me how much weight you're putting on that down hand.
Everything starts with your stance. So, a three-point stance, if you're trying to do as uniform as possible, but, in pass protection, your hand's a little bit further back towards your body, so your weight's a little bit further back. So you're going to put your hand down a little bit lighter, but you don't want to show it your knuckles first off, because that's the first trigger that defensive line's got is, seeing if his knuckles are red from putting weight on, or if they're white from not putting any weight on. So, you want to show it. You don't want to show it too much. You're trying to push down with your hand, and you're triggered up. And so your first step out of pass will be here. So your foot's got to be the same thing. Your weight's got to be on that big toe. Out of run, you can put a little bit more weight on your hand. Your back's a little bit flatter, but not too much more. And you got to be able to take your first step vertical upfield. So, when you're 3-point, you can take a more vertical step. In a 2-point and run blocking, it's more of a play step.
How do you like your stance? You like your stance?
Yeah, I think I like it a little bit.
What do you prefer? You like being up or down, or does it really matter?
It doesn't really matter to me. Whatever the coach asks me to do.
Let me ask you, isn't speed the number one thing you got to stop? Isn't that the fastball of every great rusher?
Exactly.
And does his alignment, the wider he is, affect your set? It has to, right?
Yeah, for sure.
How does it affect your set? If Freeney gets wider and wider, you can't keep setting vertical, right? Don't you have to set out towards him a little more?
A little bit, but you want to try to stay as vertical as possible. I mean, if his alignment's right on you, there's no reason why you can't just, jump a little bit earlier. But if he's back there, you got to get to that spot before he does. And, you got to be, you almost got to be straight vertical with it. Because if you turn out to him too much, you're giving him a two-way go. You open up your shoulders to him, he can go inside, he can go outside. So you got to try to stay square as long as possible.
This is where I think it's easy to get in trouble, man. As you're a left tackle, you just got beat by a speed rush.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy just ran right by you. Freeney got off the ball. He's running 4.4 out there. His motor's running. So now I'm going to set for the speed, and he runs right over me.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that combination of speed and power? How do you stop both of them?
The biggest thing is, getting your hands on him first. You don't want him inside your body. And the other thing is, you always got to keep your stagger. You got to have your hands on him inside, and that's when you got to drop your butt.
One thing I love about Luke Joeckel, I see you, this Mingo over there, isn't it?
Yeah.
I see you guys handling stunts better than any team in college football. I mean, you don't seem to be bothered by these ET stunts or TE stunts.
No.
You guys practice it or what?
Yeah, we did a ton.
You did?
A ton practicing.
This is Alabama, right?
Yeah.
I'm watching Alabama. They got all these great nickel pass rushers. I'm thinking, I got to see Joeckel in this game. So here's a stunt off the left side, and look at Manziel. He's just standing back here like it's 7-on-7. I mean, does Johnny Manziel take you guys out for a hot dog or something? Does he?
No, I mean,
can you imagine getting this kind of protection in Tuscaloosa?
It's we did a pretty good job this year, and he mentioned every name of his offensive line in his Heisman speech. That was kind of cool.
I wish my whole team could be up here with me tonight, especially my great offensive line and the whole offense. Luke Joeckel, Jarvis Harrison, Cedric Aboye, Jake Matthews, and Patrick Lewis. I'm as safe standing right here as I am in the pocket with you guys. You've done a great job of keeping me off my back, and I can't thank you enough for everything.
He's promised us a steak dinner, and I think all 5 of us are still, going to make that happen.
I'm showing you all this pass protection. Isn't that why people are talking about you maybe being the #1 pick in the draft? Because you can block the damn sun out, can't you?
I got a lot better at it this year.
Uh-huh. These stunt pickups, I could sit here and show you these all day. I guess we don't have all day. You want a copy of this tape, don't you?
Yeah, it doesn't look bad. Yeah. I'd like to show my dad it. He might be proud of me.
What are the keys now to being a left tackle and switching a TE stunt?
Well, the first key is, if you got a 3 tech to your side, you got that post foot's got to be straight back. You can't kick it out. You can't gank it towards the defense end at all, or you're creating way too much space between you and the guard. And, he can't be too heavy with this defensive tackle throwing him outside, or that fast, defense end right there is going to run right inside him and be right in the quarterback's face. So, you got to be straight back, straight vertical set, and you got to have a drag hand and be able to just overtake him when he knocks him off.
I like the way you talk, man. We used to have a left guard in Oakland named Steve Wisniewski. He went to like 9 straight Pro Bowls. He used to love to switch TEs. When he switched it, you could still hear him. I can still hear him going, switch! I tell you, Steve Wisniewski, he'd switch some stunts now. Well, I've been on some sidelines where a tackle gets beat. Sometimes clearly beat. Laid off the ball, didn't get the audible, looked bad.
Yeah.
And the tackle comes unglued. Oh, no! Oh, my God!
I've always stayed pretty even. As a true freshman, there was times where I got a little shooken up, stuff like that. But, since then, I've always tried to stay pretty even. I hate losing. The best part about being an offensive tackle is the competitive aspect. It's a one-on-one block pretty much every single play, and I hate losing, but, I realize it happens, and you just got to be able to drop it, and that's what makes the great players, the guys that can forget about the play before and just play the next one.
How about this inside move, this Missouri man? What was this protection?
This was a pop 513, so it's a show run. I know I was manned up, so my aiming point's got to be a lot tighter. It's got to be almost midline rather than play side number, and I should have known that he was even jumping inside a little bit before the snap count.
Are you able to self-correct?
For sure.
That's what the great players do. They don't need a coach to say, hey, you overset. We overset. You missed your landmark. Da-da-da. We don't need to step through it on the sideline. I can't just show you getting beat, man. I can't just show you a highlight tape, a wrecking machine every single play. There's my guy from Missouri. I got you here, didn't I?
Yeah.
On the spinner?
Yeah. I remember this one.
Talk to me about it. If you had to do this again, what would you do on this spinning, man?
Wouldn't put my head in it. I'd lean my head into it, bend at the waist, and then just totally go off balance from there.
And here at the FFCA, we were so happy to find this spinning top play. You know that? Just so we could show it on national TV. You're not even the great Luke Joeckel's perfect.
Hurts.
Will you make sure that you keep this practice inventory alive, man? Your formula on the practice field, taking pride in the individual work and collaborating with the line coach. You know what you've been working on. Hey, geez, Coach Gruden, every day I go out to work, we're working on drive blocks. And we're going to work on some pass protection. Have some input into some of the things that you think you need. Don't be a guy that doesn't, come from a school of, hey, I've done a lot.
Yeah.
You know what you need sometimes. If you need to hit the fastball, if you need to get in the batting cage and hit some fastballs, let's hit some fastballs.
Yeah.
And let's damn sure not let some of these spinning tops get you. Because as soon as Freeney and Abraham and all these hungry pass rushers looking for a new team see this, they're going to spin on your ass too, right?
Next on